So the bolts here are T30, and then there's a little clip down here as well holding that vacuum line. So we'll pull that off and then that'll get out of the way. Now this little clip here I mentioned, it can actually stay because this loom here needs to be taken off. Okay, this clip here, this whole assembly here with the loom running through it, there's a little clip in the front. It's hard to work if you press it forwards or backs, but you've got to leave it forward. And if you can see in there, see if I can zoom up on that, there's quite a big tab on it. You've got to rip it a long way forward and then it will come up and off like that. It just sits over a hole in that bit there, but you've got to pull it more than you're comfortable with, pulling it forward, then you'll be able to get that off, and then that whole loom is going to come up and out of the way, and then you get some real space. This loom bends right back out of the way this way, and this one comes down and out of the way and over the back here. We've got a battle to come yet with these back bolts, but we'll see how we go with those. But all of these are now available, so I'm going to start taking off all these tapper cover bolts, rocker cover, tapper cover, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to pull all these off. I'm going to do that with a drill, rip them all up. That'll be nice and quick. Okay, so these bolts are coming up really, really well and really easy. Definitely a lot harder to get all the junk off the top than what it is to actually undo these. Now, the drill I was using, my main job is a spar guy, Nillenbeck pull and spar service, so I've got to get in and underneath and undo things often. I have one of these little bendy things. I'll put a link through to where you can get these. This has been absolutely brilliant in getting the bolts that are in under that edge there. You can hold it in and bend it over, and I've gotten, you know, right back there. These guys, I've just got the ones over the back to go now. I've got to crack them first, and I had to use an actual shifter to crack them, to start them, to loosen them, and then able to get them off. T10, if I haven't said it already, is E10, sorry, not T10, is the socket needed, but they're coming out nice and easy. So I've just got the ones over the back and we're good. But yeah, that's the setup, using a drill, and they're spinning out really, really nicely. That little plastic piece that mounts the plastic engine cover and holds all the wires, you can unclip all of these, and there's a couple of clips on the back you have to unclip to get here and here to get all the wires off, and here, and then you can take that out of the way, and that's going to enable us to get to the vac pump and also to the bolts on the back. Over here and see where these last bolts are. Move that fuel line out of the way, and there's one bolt down there, and there's the vac pump. That's the one we saw. There's another one there on the corner, so we'll get that one there on the corner, that one in the middle, and then pretty sure there'll be another one up there in that corner. So we're doing great here. It really does go quick once you've got all that loom and stuff off the top. This loom here, you see, you've just got these metal clips that push on here and here. That was the bit that was down there, so that's just come right up out of the way beautifully. All these bolts are out. I've got the one out of the middle at the back. I've just got to get the, you see we've got down the front, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 3 on the back, but we'll verify that. So I've got the middle one out. We just got to get to the other 2 corners, and then we'll be ready to lift that off. So we're going to take these 2 guys off as well. This is an E6 here. Just going to undo these. And these plugs, you just need to lever that little bit there forward, and then you can even see the clip that it's holding with, and then that should press down to come off. There it goes, and that plug's going to come off just like that. So do that on both E6, and we'll take both those out. And then these just pull straight forward like that. You can see, yeah, this could do with a cleanup. So we'll get those 2 out. Getting in business. Okay, so the vac pump is out, and I've been talking a lot about tools you've got to buy. The most important tool in your toolkit is a BMW cam, an actual BMW mechanic to come around when it gets hard. There's 3 bolts. This is off the back, and they are T40 bolts, so you're using your torque. And this short little, look at that, what he's got in his hand there, that short little shifter is what you need, because you don't get a lot. I tried to get onto it with with a long T-piece, but I just couldn't get in there. This was too long to actually turn it once I got it in the bolt. So specialist tools like that one is what you need to get that back pump off.
Remember how that comes out when you go back in?
Yeah. Give it a shake and a bang.
Give it a good hammer.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, so that's inlet cam because you've got intake on that side, exhaust cam, the exhaust come out that side, and you can see, this is what I explained to you before, the lobes, that when they roll full cycle, they roll over these rockers here, and that's your valve. So those, from the diagrams you saw, your valve spring gets rolled by that pretty much. As it goes over it, pushes it down, and it comes back up when it rolls back around. So the timing for these have to be spot on with the crank to have those valves rolling at the exact time, to get the exact fuel air ratio, ignition point, and all that.
All right, so doing your gasket now on the tapper cover, now we've got the top off. It is just a matter of replacing this gasket. You pull it out and take the time to give it all a good clean and a degrease, get it all nice. If you degrease it, you'll be able to use a little bit of silicone. When you have particularly tight corners or something like that, or particular spots you're not too sure about, you can put a bit of silicone on, but these, for the most part, don't need it. They just go on as they are. You got your two centerpieces. This O-ring is for the PCV valve pipe, the big pipe at the front. This is the high pressure fuel gasket. These are the two center bits, so your spark plugs, your coils go in here, and this is the outside gasket. So that's the gasket kit. That's the part number. This is just a Chinese kit, because I've found those really quite good. I'll put links in the description through to all these bits. Then you just start reversing all of the process and putting it all back together. All right, so once you've got the gasket in, it really is a matter of, you just wobble this back on, and then it's a matter of just putting everything back in. You see I've got the high pressure fuel pump back on. Just again, the secret, don't go doing these up too tight till you get everything lined up. Make sure your bolt's just going in nice and finger tight. I had a bit of an issue with one of these, wanted to cross thread, so I just had to really take it easy, wobble it around, and then get it so it would go in easy. Don't force anything ever in this sort of situation. Running your fuel lines, I've put the engine cover cap back on the back there and bolted it up. This is just sitting in place. It's got to put the covers back on. I've got the fuel line. None of these are done up tight because I was just letting it all line up, and then we'll nip them up tight. Put the plug back in the end, and yeah, we're cooking with gas. Put the coils back in, the wires, the loom, did up the bolt. All of these gasket bolts, obviously, you've just got to work your way around and do them all. The vacuum plate is a pain. You've got to line up the cam so that it sits back, that slot that's in it. It's got to go back into the cam. Good idea when you take it out to try not to move it so it can go straight back on again. And then those 3 T40 bolts back in to hold it in place. But it really is just reversing everything you did on the way out, and it should be back on, and all of your oil leaks will be gone.